in 2024, where do you come up with the money to put inside your ATM and just start your ATM business in general? That's what we're going to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell notification so every time I post a video, you're first to know. My name is Carey Buck. I've been an independent ATM business owner since 2009. I've been an ATM business mentor since 2011. If you would like to learn more about the ATM business, feel free to check out my free training below, atmtrainingvideo.com, or click the link in the description. By the way, don't mind mine. This is suntan lotion. And I got suntan lotion all over my face from just got done playing pickleball. Okay, so it's 2024. Where do you get the money to start an ATM business? Where do you get the money to put inside your ATM? Right? Okay. So there's a couple ways that you can do it. The first way is you have money in your bank account or under your mattress or in your safe at home. That's the first way you can do it. Use your own money. That's going to be the most profitable way to start your ATM business because you don't have to pay anybody back the money, right? It's your money. And you're going to make it decent ROI. It's going to depend on, the location and what have you, but, you're going to make more money on that money in your ATM business than you will in a savings account, let's put it that way. And definitely from more than leaving it under your mattress. Okay, so that's one way. Just use your own money. Now, here's the thing. When my wife and I, Kathy, started in 2009, we did not have cash under our mattress or cash in the bank account to start an ATM business. As a matter of fact, we were about $150,000 plus in debt, but we still wanted to start an ATM business. So what do you do when you want to start an ATM business and you have no money and you're in a shit ton of debt? Well, you go into more debt. That's what we did. That's quite honestly exactly what we did. We used 2 cash advances on 2 credit cards that we had. And I also had a very small business line of credit from a real estate investing company that I had. So 2 small cash advances on credit cards and a small business line of credit. That's how we got started, right? We didn't make excuses and be like, we don't have any money, we're in a lot of debt. No, we wanted to start a business that had the ability to change our financial future. So we went into more debt to do that. So if you're in that same boat, or maybe you're not in that boat, maybe you do have cash and maybe you're not in a lot of debt, but you don't want to use your money for whatever reason, that's up to you, that's your business. You can use credit cards. Like you could buy your ATMs and buy your equipment with credit cards. You can get cash advances on credit cards, use the cash to put inside the machine. You could do what a lot of my mentorship students do. They play the 0% interest game with credit cards. So they buy their ATMs and equipment with credit cards that have 0% interest for 12 months or 18 months. And then they use the profits from the ATM to pay off their credit card. And then, boom, once, the 0% interest is up and they pay off their ATM, they find another credit card with 18 months, 0% interest or 12 months, 0% interest. And they do the same thing over and over, right? A lot of people do that. You also could get a small line of credit, personal line of credit, business line of credit. You can get a loan, personal loan, business loan. You're generally not going to get a loan for an ATM business. Banks generally won't lend for the ATM business. You're not going to be able to get an SBA loan for the ATM business. You could also use home equity lines of credit, any type of line of credit, right? So you can use all these different methods of other people's money to start your ATM business. Another thing that you can do is, let's say your Aunt Bertha maybe has 5 or 10 grand in a savings account making 0.5% interest a year or 1% a year. You can say, hey, Aunt Bertha, if you lend me that 5 or 10 grand to start my ATM business, I'll pay you 5%, right? And then you guys work out the details. So that's called a private money lender. You can do that. You can have people that have self-directed IRAs lend you money for your ATM business. It's the same deal. Like Aunt Bertha, maybe she has a self-directed IRA instead of cash in the bank, right? So you can do that. You can also, you can use something like a Loomis or Brinks or something like that. I honestly do not recommend that method when you're first starting, just because it's going to be too pricey and you don't even know what your ATM's going to do yet, right? So I don't really recommend that. But you can have a cash vaulter. Let's say you know somebody in your area that owns an ATM business, or let's say you're a mentorship student of mine and you happen to be in the same area of another mentorship student and they're open to being a cash vaulter. You can have them fill your ATM with their cash, right? And then you pay them like $1 a transaction. It used to be somewhere in the range of 75 cents to $1.25. Now it's more in the range of $1 to $1.35 a transaction that you would pay them as a cash vaulter, and they're going to fill the ATM with their cash, and they're also going to service your ATM. Okay, you can do that. Of course, you make less money, but you're not using your cash, right? So that's kind of cool. You also could, if you have money to get an ATM and maybe your wireless router if you need that, you can have the business owner of the location that you're putting the ATM in, you can have them fill the ATM with their cash. So they're handling the cash, but then you're going to be responsible for servicing the machine. Okay? So there's all different ways that you can find money or get money to, number one, put inside of your ATM machine. And number two, to just in general start your ATM business in 2024. And I'm not even getting into, the nitty gritty of, look around your house and all the shit that's sitting there that you don't use, sell it. I'm not even getting into that kind of stuff yet. But that stuff you can do as well, right? Remember, if you're thinking about starting an ATM business, you're thinking about it because of the financial gains, number one, and the potential for financial and time freedom, right? So it's worth it. Like all those methods, no matter what they are, it is worth it to put them towards yourself and this new endeavor. That's something that you're aspiring to be as an ATM business owner. Okay, it's worth it. And yeah, you know what? Maybe it is worth it to go around your house and all the stuff that you haven't used or all the stuff you got in stores, selling it and using that to start your ATM business. Right? That's just another avenue that you can use to start an ATM business, right? To come up with funds. The money's not the problem. Coming up here, I'm going to tell you this. The money to start the ATM business is minute compared to so many other businesses, like a franchise, or like you want to buy McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or something like that. The money to start an ATM business is very, very small compared to a big brick and mortar business like that, right? That's number one. Number two, the money itself is not the problem. The money is not the problem. Anybody who puts on their thinking hat and is motivated can figure out how to get the money. And you figure out, I just gave you a bunch of suggestions. Anybody could come up with $5,000 to start an ATM business, okay? Anybody. It's a matter of, are you motivated enough to do it? Are you motivated enough to stop making excuses, feeling sorry for yourself because you don't have any money, feeling sorry for yourself because you're in so much debt, feeling sorry for yourself, knowing you want to make a change, but feel like you're handcuffed and you can't make a change? Because guess what? You can make a change. You just break free of the handcuffs and freaking do it. Yes, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable going into more debt when you're already in debt. Yes, you might feel a little bit more uncomfortable starting a business when you've never started one before. But if you want to get somewhere far away, far better than where you are right now financially, you're gonna be uncomfortable. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, if you don't want to feel uncomfortable, you're just gonna stay where you're at and keep doing what you're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a choice we all make. You know what I mean? But again, listen, if you'd like help with starting your own ATM business, just click the link below. Go to atmtrainingvideo.com. Also, I got a 20-minute free training video that will let you know if the ATM business is something that you even want to bother getting into, right? I'll give you an overview of it, how it all works. You'll learn how much money you can make. You'll learn how much money is involved to get started, all right? Carey Buck here, signing out. Have a great day, and may you live happily off of passive income.